see how he feels tonight and tomorrow. But he looked good in practice.
Bucks were still on track.
Still restriction, but still he looked good in practice too.
And no setbacks for Jalen.
Asked Al this, but the first game against Cleveland, do you look back on that a lot, or was that kind of master's game because you guys spent a lot of time kind of recovering from what happened at Gordon?
No, I mean they do a lot. They did a lot of things that they've had great success with, both against us and everybody else that we need to pay attention to. And there were some things that we did well that we need to build off of. But I watched the whole game except maybe 4 possessions on mute, so I didn't have to obviously watch the injury or listen to it afterwards. But I thought, obviously our guys did a good job of responding in that game through difficult circumstances, giving ourselves a chance, but then we didn't do enough late to win it.
Coach, still no word if he's going to make the trip with the team to Boston, but just the imprint that Isaiah Thomas left on his team and his city.
Yeah, and all of us that spent every day with him. I can't say enough positive, glowing things about Isaiah. He's a special guy. It's great to see him back out on the court tonight, and certainly he's as tough as they come.
And speaking of tough, Jay Crowder didn't come here with the greatest character, but obviously was the key to what you guys were able to do. Talk about what he meant to this organization at this time.
Also, great toughness. Played a variety of positions. When we really needed versatile guys to do a lot of things on both ends of the floor. He was the guy that was probably able to swing to a big position the most and play the wing. And again, brought a consistent approach and toughness to our team.
Has there ever been another time in your career, college pro, where you did that, where you muted the volume and didn't watch specific plays because most games?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to focus on all the there and back, and I have great respect for all the announcers and everything else. I just don't want to rehash that moment, obviously.
Yeah.
Coach, I think you referenced this earlier this season. You're at the break, roughly. You expressed surprise to be where you are, considering you had 4 players coming back and you lost one of the top players.
Yeah, anytime you win 30 or 40 games, I think you've probably got a lot of good fortune. You've got a lot of good things happening. I thought that getting through that stretch in December was going to be really, really difficult, and it was. But I thought, obviously, being able to kind of rebound after the first 2 games and find some wins that we probably shouldn't have won there in the first month and a half, it was obviously, but still only halfway home with regard to the season, so we need to make sure that we continue to improve.
That being said, you've had 2 practice days now over the last week or so. What has been the focus? What are you guys trying to get back?
Well, obviously we've got to kind of relearn that in a way to make that part of your daily, your daily way. I think for the most part it's been pretty good. I think that we need to maximize this time. Regardless of what happens tonight, Friday, Saturday, we need to be building to become better and better down the road. And so that's what you utilize this time for. We don't come in just to come in. That's a waste of time. We want to make sure everything we do is applicable.
How important is that for the young guys like Jason, Jalen, to kind of reiterate all the things you've been trying to teach these rounds and stuff?
Well, I think it's a hard transition for those guys. The older guys have been through this. They know how to go about it. They know that when you're there, every minute is playing to the nth degree, and it's got to be maximized. And sometimes young guys aren't as up to speed on that stuff. And so, for the most part, they've been very good. But I think that it's something that will always be an emphasis.
I'm sure you watch lots of tape. What's Cleveland playing like? What do you see on tape?
Obviously, they had a tough West Coast road trip, but everybody has those. Those are hard places to win. Obviously, the Sacramento game was sandwiched by the Golden State and Utah games. I thought Utah played tremendous. in the game, but they've been great. Ever since that start, when they won all those games in a row, they've kind of figured out a rotation that's good for them. Their second unit is outstanding. They've got a guy that's probably leading the charge for MVP in the league, LeBron, who's been doing it now for 15 years. So they're the team to beat. Everybody knows that. We can all speculate all through the season all we want to, but they've been the class of the East. That's it.
You seem to be saying that the second unit improvement, they might be better than last year.
Well, they haven't had Isaiah. We all know how special he is. So that's a heck of a team over there.
Looking back on the film, what did you see from Jason making his career debut and then to now the player that he is?
I think you add up all experiences. He was a 19-year-old in the first 20 minutes, and he was a lot older than that afterwards. And that's kind of, he built off of that. He stayed the course, he stayed poised, made big plays for us, and we're going to need him to continue to do so. Thanks.